This is your planetary manager, Machiventa Melchizedek. I look on with pleasure and with happiness in my heart and joy to see my cosmic brothers and sisters being able to connect with one another and to share beautiful messages of love and hope and light and encouragement. I am a being of long tenure in this part of the cosmos. I have seen many, many planets work through difficult times and come out the other end. And so I have, through experience, been given by Christ Michael this opportunity to work with him on this world. This world has always been of special interest to the celestial administrators due to the fact that it was an experimental world, as 1 in 10 worlds are. And so new leeway was given the life carriers as they worked up the formulas for life in their laboratories to try new ideas and to see how they could progress the evolution of life. That has meant many different and strange forms of life have evolved and come and gone over the millions of years on your world. You are an interesting race of people, or you are at a stage of material development that is not often seen on the worlds until there's been a greater spiritual culture evolve. And so you find yourselves in a peculiar place. You are, as yet, still struggling to master your animal inheritances, that side of your evolution that you evolved up from. Through fighting and bellicose animals, through primitive stages of development where qualities in you and strategies that you use to survive made sense then, when there were so few of you on the planet. But now those strategies are no longer appropriate. But because the divine plan on your world went astray, there is no way that as a spiritual administration, I can recreate the original spiritual government of this world in the same way that it originally happened. Because that would overawe many mortals. It would cause many others to falsely assume that there was a miracle happening that really isn't. And so because of the restrictions placed upon celestial beings in working with mortals, because we do not violate your free will, we're very careful to bring you along step by step. So because of the history of your world, we work with spirit in a way that respects your free will. And this is the way that your master, Jesus, the teacher, the world teacher, was here to be a living illustration of a relationship to your creator, to show you how to live in an intimate and conscious connection with this creator as the way of spiritual growth and development. Therefore, The evolution of a more spiritual awakening in society on your world will depend upon a critical mass of humans on this world awakening to the spirit within, awakening to this living connection that is in each one of you by the very fact that your Creator has placed a fragment of His Spirit within you. And so, in the scale of life, you may be the furthest from your Creator. On the other hand, He has seen to it that you are the closest to Him. He cherishes His mortal children, and He has wonderful plans for those who can see with the eyes of faith, who can trust with open hearts in what they cannot see, but can keep opening to Spirit. This is a very difficult time. Your world is fast approaching crises on many fronts, but none more critical than the destruction of your natural environment on your world. The loss of habitat has already led to the extinction of many species. And you're fast approaching a time when the systems on your world that support life are going to fail. Now, I tell you this not to alarm you or cause worry, but to prepare you for the most difficult part of this transition. This transition from looking outside yourselves for answers, looking outside yourselves for direction, for authority to act, and maturing to the point where you assume the responsibility to make your own decisions regarding your spirit life, and that you can connect to the limitless potentials that are within you. This is necessary because it is this connection to spirit that provides the power for this spiritual transformation of your cultures and your society. There are many good ideas out there, but those that have the power to transform you and this world are your personal living relationships with Jesus, with Mother Spirit, with Father, and you are well endowed to have these personal connections. You have the Spirit of truth that Jesus bestowed upon you. You have the Holy Spirit that your mother bestows upon you. And you have a fragment of the Father Himself that dwells within. Now all it takes is each of you to have the faith to go within, to quiet your minds by whatever means you do. When you are in that still space, reach out to Spirit. Ask for conscious contact. Ask for guidance. Share with Spirit your worries. Allow Spirit to lift these burdens from you and to infuse you with light and hope and happiness and joy. For even in the midst of difficult times, Spirit is always with you. And Spirit will see you through the coming travails and see you into the new era. This world is being purified of hundreds of thousands of years of lies, of deliberate distortions on reality. Nonetheless, a status quo has grown up for eons on your world and will not easily let go. even though they see themselves sliding over into an abyss, such as the pathology of greed, of selfishness, of violence, of the lust for power, that they will not stop, they will not change, they cannot. For these people have lost their connection to spirit, have lost even the ability to turn to spirit. Though spirit always stands at the door of their heart and knocks, the likelihood of them answering that call and inviting spirit into their lives is very little. And so these people, these few individuals that control so much of the progress or lack of progress on your world, are mightily resisting the spirit influences that are impinging upon all mortals on this world, calling to each to turn within. It has never been easier in the history of your world to turn within and connect with spirit. The lines are open. The spirit lines of spirit communication have been reconnected to this world. And the amplitude of the vibrations coming from the spirit world have never been higher, have never been more easier of access, more easier for you to avail yourselves of them. So it is this individual free will that in the end must prevail through a spiritual awakening, such as we're witnessing here this evening in each of you, to trust spirit, to become aligned with truth, beauty, and goodness, to learn to become selfless and make that transition from selfishness to a selfness where you're willing to do for others without exploitation, without expectation, without profit, simply learning to live to serve others. And as you begin to do that with one another, many of the answers to these seemingly intractable problems that face you become apparent. Your world can move beyond violence and war into an era of peace and rehabilitation and construction of sustainable societies. But this will not happen overnight, but only happen through the sustained effort of mortals such as yourselves, being willing to seek spirit, whatever way you can connect, and allowing that spirit connection to transform your hearts, minds, and souls into becoming living conduits of unconditional love to your fellows. This is the beginning of a worldwide awakening. But no one can really speak to the timing of it. You have 8+ billion individual free wills. It's a lot of chaos. But the solution to this is for individuals to become light, to raise their vibrations, to be willing to go out and share what they are experiencing and finding with others, and so to encourage others to do the same, and so on, one open heart at a time. We will turn this world from darkness. We will see it through this difficult birth into a new day, into a new era. And so your citadel from worry, from fear, from stress is to be found within, in your own living connection with the divine, with your own living experience of asking your indwelling spirit to commune with you in your soul, in your co-creation of the spirit and yourself, and to be certain of your connection to the point where your faith can withstand all the vicissitudes of a violent world, all the resistance of those who currently control the status quo, but cannot sustain it, will not survive it. And as they go down the last gasp in desperate attempt to preserve the lies of separation from spirit, to preserve the lies that human beings don't have the ability to connect on their own, that they need teachers and leaders and gurus and priests. Well, that era is coming to a close, my friend. When each of you assume responsibility to connect without any outward help. And as we do this and share together, we will reclaim for spirit this world. We will manage it through to the plans of our Creator as He originally intended. For this world was meant to be a garden planet, an oasis in space, a testament to the creative powers of Christ Michael and his spirit friends to bring about beautiful environments for the growth of noble souls. This will again be the destiny of this world. And you shall know greater and greater connection with your cosmic cousins on neighboring planets who have a vast interest in what happens here. For what happens on this world is a part of a whole. And it is time now for the whole to begin to evolve and move forward. And for the apostate worlds that suffered from rebellion to no longer represent a drag on their progress. So much is being given to this world. There is much help available. And I ask you, as your master asked you 2,000 years ago, to establish the brotherhood and sisterhood of humankind on the foundation of the fatherhood of our Creator, and to work in cooperation with me, with my planetary administration, with the many influences of spirit that are working for the evolution of this world into the next era of its development. I am Machiventa Melchizedek. I am here at your invitation. I am delighted to be here, and I will come again and again as you gather in spirit, bring you updates on what the celestial administration is doing, and to speak to your hearts, to help you connect with this energy, to help you grow beyond the limitations of the lies of separation, and know through personal experience, conscious contact with your indwelling spirit. Thank you.